Imagine an animal capable of recognizing its own reflection in a mirror, capable of grieving the death of a relative, capable of remembering, decades later, the face of someone who once harmed it. This animal exists, and it can weigh over 5 tons. In this video, we'll explore the mind of the elephant, one of the most intelligent and emotionally complex animals on the planet. You'll discover how they think, how they communicate, and why scientists rank them alongside dolphins and primates in animal cognition. Get ready, because elephant intelligence goes far beyond what you might imagine. An elephant's brain weighs about 5 kilograms, the largest brain among all land animals, including humans. But what really impresses scientists isn't just the size, it's the structure. The hippocampus is extremely well developed. That's the brain region responsible for long-term memory, and it explains one of the species' most famous traits. Elephants truly never forget. They can recognize, decades later, the face and scent of other elephants, and even humans, whether friendly or threatening. The elephant's cerebral cortex is also extremely wrinkled, increasing the surface area available for neural processing. This trait is also found in species known for high intelligence, like dolphins and great apes. An elephant's memory isn't just impressive, it's vital to the survival of the entire group. Matriarchs, the older females who lead the herds, store crucial information: where to find water during severe droughts, which paths to avoid because of predators, and even routes traveled decades earlier. A study published in the journal Science showed that herds led by older, more experienced matriarchs have significantly higher survival rates during droughts. That's because these females remember water sources the herd hasn't visited in years. One elephant's memory can save dozens of lives. One of the most famous tests used to measure self-awareness in animals is called the mirror test. The idea is simple. A mark is placed on the animal's body, somewhere it can only see through its reflection. If the animal tries to touch the mark on its own body, and not on the mirror, this suggests self-recognition. Very few species pass this test. Humans, some great apes, dolphins, magpies, and elephants. In 2006, researchers from the Wildlife Conservation Society tested an Asian elephant named Happy at the Bronx Zoo. She repeatedly touched a white mark painted on her own forehead, using her trunk while looking in the mirror. This is strong evidence of self-awareness, placing elephants among a very select group of animals with a sense of self. Perhaps the most moving behavior observed in elephants is how they respond to death. Researchers have repeatedly documented elephants gently touching the bones and tusks of deceased relatives, staying near the body for long periods. Some have even been seen covering the remains with branches and dirt, behavior resembling funeral rituals. In some documented cases, elephants returned to the same spot years later to visit the bones of a family member. Scientist Cynthia Moss, one of the leading experts on wild elephants, documented decades of observations in Kenya. She recorded visible signs of what can only be described as grief: elephants becoming agitated, silent, and refusing to leave a relative's body. This kind of behavior suggests something profound. Elephants seem to have an awareness of death and of loss. Elephants communicate in far more sophisticated ways than just their famous trumpeting call. Much of elephant communication happens through infrasound. frequencies so low the human ear cannot detect them. These vibrations can travel several kilometers through the ground, picked up by sensitive receptors in the feet and trunk. This is how a herd can coordinate even miles apart, warning of danger, locating mates, or announcing water nearby. Researchers have also found that elephants use distinct calls for different situations, including possibly separate alerts for humans versus other predators. This suggests a remarkably sophisticated capacity for categorization and communication. Elephants remember. Elephants recognize themselves. Elephants mourn their dead, and they communicate through a language spanning miles, silent to our ears. The more science studies the minds of these giants, the clearer it becomes. We're looking at one of the most sophisticated and emotionally rich intelligences in the animal kingdom. If this video changed the way you see elephants, hit like, share it with an animal lover, and subscribe for more. We'll keep exploring the most fascinating minds in nature. See you in the next video.